What's up, Dallas?
I'm Stevi
I'm Sergio.
of LFX Dancers.
Hey,
We're gonna show you New York City. Are you ready?
are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
I think they are.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right,
Okay.
let's do this.
Si te quieres divertir con encanto y con primor, solo tienes que vivir un verano en Nueva York. Te levantan de rodillas tus amigos caprichosos. Te llevan para las villas o a la montaña del oso, luego a la gira de un barco o a la playa de Ochembrillo, la fiesta del mamoncillo o con la pompa en un charco. Si te quieres divertir con encanto y con primor, solo tienes que vivir un verano en Nueva York.
Hello, Dallas Bachata Festival 2020.
How you guys doing?
Welcome to the online edition. Here we are
Yeah.
in New York City.
We're actually underneath the World Trade Center, right?
Yes, we are.
Oh,
So shout out to everybody there on the online edition of the 2020 International Dallas Bachata Festival.
Yeah.
We are there with you.
yeah. Thank you, Jorge, for giving us the opportunity.
All right, get ready for some salsa on two. We'll see you on the dance floor.
Bye.
As we said, we are the directors of LFX Dancers, which is a New York City-based dance company. We've been around for almost 12 whole years now. We were the first official fusion Latin dance team in the city. And we do a bunch of different styles. So we have salsa, merengue, bachata, we've done bhangra,
break dance,
everything, really.
anything that moves.
So we're gonna teach you a little bit today about salsa, but our focus is gonna be on connection.
Yes, very important. We know that because of everything that is happening around the world, you might not be able to have a dance partner, but that doesn't mean you cannot start dancing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some shines, connection with your partner. So we know usually this might help you when you're actually dancing with a partner, and then you let go, and then it's time for you to do that shining part. So you
But
can
that's
shine.
not an excuse to stop connecting.
Yes.
So
You can make it fun. You can still make it fun.
we're gonna have some fun today. We're gonna do connection separate, and hopefully if we have time, we'll get to a little bit of partner work and how connection comes into play there.
Yes.
So get
All right.
ready.
So we're gonna
Here we
play
go.
some music, and then here you go. Here you go.
Guanacunando nos vamos a fumar una huecunena, baraca ni guará. Le damos cunona a la nome, para pocuneno, bacaca, cunano y estar en la onda de tapo, cunecán. Eso me dijo Mari una vez a mí, cuando yo era un cocorro con un cunoncho, y yo le dije dale para yo probar. Cuando lo hice ese humo me cayó muy mal, me dio una tos, me dio un mareo. Me daba vuelta al mundo y náuseas por demás. Ganas de ir al baño para agacharme allá. Sudaba mucho, demasiado bastante. Y me cayó una risa que yo no podía aguantar. Me preguntaba que qué era esto. Me contestaba, en la baraca niguara y te está dando a ti la pálida. Y te está dando a ti la pálida.
So that was a warm up, and now
Get your breath moving a little bit,
Yes.
and now we're going to show you a little bit of the breakdown. So what we did are 4 typical shines movements, some inspired from Afro-Cuban, some that you'll typically see on a dance floor. And what you saw was really basic steps, but different variations of body, of arms, of feet, and certainly of interplay between the two of us. So we'll break down the actual feet so that you know what you're doing, and then we're going to encourage you to play along with us. First step.
Susie Q.
Basic Susie Q. Most of you probably know what that is.
Just for reference, we're doing on 2. Okay, sounds on 2. Okay.
All right, just a quick disclaimer. Steffi and I realized after the filming of this workshop that you cannot see our feet on the breakdowns. So what we end up doing during the editing of this workshop, we added a square either on this side or on this side, and inside that square you will see our feet moving. That way you don't miss anything from the breakdowns. Now let's get back at it.
Salsa onto our basic step, just to give the overview first, is if we start with the right foot, we're starting going forward. So we would go small step 1, break 2, back 3, then back step left, right, and back to center. So it's again 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7. So that's your basic breakdown of beats. We're not going to go into that too much, just so you know the salsa onto pattern. For Susie Q's, we're coming out of that basic. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So we would cross ourselves to the right. So we go across, we unwind it a little bit, and then we cross again. Then you have to pivot. Boop, and then you cross yourself, you unwind it, and you cross. Pivot, cross, unwind, cross, pivot, cross, unwind, cross, and pivot. That's the basic of the feet. Let's turn around and give you another view. A little bit faster. So we'll do one basic on 2, and then we'll do our Susie Q's 4 times. So 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, pivot. 5, 6, 7, pivot. 1, 2, 3, pivot. 5, 6, and 7.
Quick tip, always pick up your feet, especially on that switch. So we're going 1, 2, 3, pick this up, and then 5, 6, 7, pivot, and pick it up.
You always want to articulate your feet as much as possible, because the second you start leaving them down here, it becomes very vague and it doesn't look like you're doing much. So pick them up. So let's do it with a little more speed, and then we'll show you a few variations that you can do with the body, with the feet, different ways to play with it. So a little more speed. Again, one basic for Susie Q's. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7.
So the next step is the tap, 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 tap. Very easy, and if it's a very easy move, then you have the opportunity to connect more with your partner and play with it more. Alright, so for this one, actually, I'm gonna have Steffi facing me, and all we're doing is just tap, tap in front, tap in front, tap in front. So if I'm doing the basic, I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. I'm doing mine right. And 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7, and 1, and 3, and 5, and 7, another one, 1, and 3, and 5, and 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3. So let me face it over here. One more time. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7, and 1, and 3, and 5, and 7, and 1, and 3, and 5, and 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. So there is an 8 at the end. That way you can place your weight on your left, and you can start on 1. Okay? Really quick in front, that way you all can see more or less what's going on. 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 3, 5, 7, 1, 3, 5, and 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3.
Number 3, rumba. So a lot of salsa origin comes from Afro-Cuban traditions. So we're not even going to attempt to give you a full history and class of Afro-Cuban. We're just going to give you some basics to what that movement consists of, so you can start to investigate further in your own right, but it gives you something else to play with. So the key here is the bounce. Otherwise, it's not going to look like rumba no matter what you do. So the idea is you have to keep a bounce going with your knees on 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. Just make sure it's not a pachanga bounce where your shoulders are headed backwards. Your shoulders stay forward the whole time. So this is the key. If you can keep this up, you're gonna get rumba.
Yes.
Okay. So now with that bounce, we're going to start footwork. I'm gonna start with the right foot because it's my more comfortable foot. So we're going to step side and in, side and in, side and in, side and in. The basic idea here is that you're not actually stepping side and transferring weight. You're stepping side and leaving your weight kind of right in the center, so it's really easy to get back to the middle. Because if you push all the way here, it takes away from the overall bounce. So you need to put your foot out, you bounce in the middle, and you come back to center and bounce. You put your other foot out and bounce in between your legs, and then you come back to the center and bounce. So a little bit faster, that is bounce 3, 5, 7. Bounce and bounce, bounce and bounce, bounce and bounce, bounce and bounce. So let's do it one more time from the front. Also to the right, we go 5, 6, 7, 8, bounce and bounce, 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 bounce. This is a really natural arm movement to just let the opposite arm of foot move forward.
Now, if your legs are hurting, that's the means that you're gonna good job, okay? Because you have to really use your legs to go down. Keep it down, down, stay down, down.
And go.
Okay, cool. All right.
So, number 4.
Number 4. All right. So this one, we are gonna go back 5, 6, 7. So we're gonna go 5, 6, 7. First step with the right. You wanna step, step. Now you're going to bend your knees, going down. That's 2. And then from here, you're going to use your hips, and they're gonna flip this way like this. 3. Sorry. Not completely yet. All you have to do is you're gonna go bring them up here, right? Kind of like you're trying to like, boom, bring that knee to the side. So I'm going here and boom. The count will be 1, 2, 3. One more time will be 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more time. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Anything more? I'm gonna do in front of you. That way you know more or less what's going on in the front. So I'm gonna go back 5, 6, 7, and 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. And bring that up, like bring it as much as you can. Sometimes I get
Try
lazy.
to get a 90-degree angle at
Sometimes,
least.
sometimes I get lazy and I go like this, because that's how I remind myself. Bring that up. Okay?
There is another variation of this,
Yes.
just to mention that if you really like the look of it just staying stationary, you can keep going and just put your foot down 5, 6, 7. Do the other side. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Just so you see that one. So in terms of my ConneXion training, I was brought up in dance in the ballroom world, so I have a lot of kind of nuanced things that some I've pushed to the side and others are actually very beneficial to salsa, bachata, and all these things as well. So we've got kind of 4 main tenets here that we'll breeze over because this is a short workshop.
Yes.
But the first thing is body language. So the way that you're even postured towards someone is a method of communication. If I'm slumped into myself, that says a totally different thing than if I'm presenting myself like, hi, wanna dance?
Yes, let's do this. Come on.
It's really excited, but you can just tell from my posture. It makes a big difference. So number 2 is eye connection.
Yeah.
So
very
it's
important.
really easy to be like, I'm just gonna stare at this person's chest the whole time. But it doesn't make them feel very good about themselves. So, well, unless they really like your chest. But
Gentlemen, you gotta be careful because if you do that kind of stuff to a lady, that's a different thing. Okay? Always keep that eye contact. Because remember, you're doing ConneXion, you're dancing with somebody. You're not dancing by yourself. You're dancing with somebody.
be careful though, because I understand why some people do avoid eye connection is because it feels a little creepy. So guys, don't give her the creep stare, please.
Yes.
Just be friendly, genial, happy person, and she will respond accordingly.
The basic thing is that imagine you let go of your partner and you want to have some connection with your partner. How do you start this? Very easy. I usually wait for the person that I'm dancing with to do something that I will copy, and letting that partner that, oh, I'm copying you, that means that there's some kind of connection right here, and I'm following, and then maybe after that, the communication is like, oh, you do this, then I can do this. So a quick demonstration. So I'm just gonna do the basic, and I'm gonna try to connect with Steph as much as I can.
So you saw how much just happened?
Yes.
2 shine steps. So that was your step tap, and that was your Suzy Q's. And we can do this opposite ways too if we really feel like it. And I can make a clap if I want.
Yeah, she missed it.
Yeah.
Right?
So
But this is what I mean. On your connection, this is what you have to do. Always connect with your partner. That's why I'm being goofy this time, because it's always good to have that kind of connection to make it fun for you. One thing that Stevi and I always do is like, no matter how much, like, what step you're doing, try to add something that is to your style. So
even if it doesn't necessarily turn out the way you think it is the first time, just try something.
just try something. So for example, right now, what I did on the taps, I'll just put my hand here, boom, boom.
You can point, you can hit,
You can be like, me, oh,
you
boom.
can do hips,
You can do it now.
you can do forward. This is our different body posture. And back. And shimmy, 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 shimmy.
You can do that. Or you can try to shake your butt as much as you can. You can actually look. Look, even I'm trying to connect with it as much as I can.
So you see the possibilities are endless.
Yes.
Para Pocuneno, Bacaca, Cunano y estar en la onda de Tapo, Cunecán. Eso me dijo Mari una vez a mí cuando yo era un cocorro con un cunoncho y yo le dije dale para yo probar. Cuando lo hice ese humo me cayó muy mal, me dio una tos, me dio un mareo, me daba vuelta el mundo y náuseas por demás, ganas de ir al baño para agacharme allá, sudaba mucho, demasiado bastante y me cayó una risa que yo no podía aguantar. Le preguntaba que qué era esto, me contestaba el avara que ni guara y te está dando a ti la pálida.
So we've got body and posturing, we have eye connection, we also have arm connection. So arm and back are 2 separate things, and those are the last 2. For the arm, we have a lot of information that can be transferred along this arm, but a lot of times I see things kind of happen like this. This goes into partnering a bit more. But ladies will sometimes be really afraid of feeling too heavy on their gentleman or their leader, and so they'll lift their arm up like this, and there's this big old gap. So we lose a lot of potential for communication between the 2 of us. So it's always good to just give a gentle rest and connect as much as your arm as you can when you're in this type of close connection for sure.
And for the leads, remember, usually the basics also, you gotta keep your arm very engaged. Everything is engaged from my shoulders, even my shoulder blades, the muscles in the back are engaged. And of course, I will always try to put my hand on her shoulder blade. I know you've seen people doing the different parts. This one is mostly the standard one, and also it gives you a chance to lead better and tell your partner where the follow is gonna go. Okay.
So again, that's part 4. 3 is arm, 4 is back. So in terms of my arm, just one last note for followers is that you also don't want to be super heavy. So there's a fine line. You don't want to flop. Like just because you want to have your whole arm touching, you don't want to be extra heavy on him. There's still structure to your arm. It's just that you're not letting the connection get interrupted is the main key there. In terms of your back, especially as a follower, it's hard to demonstrate from this not being in person. But if I'm too far forward, he has no resistance right now, and he can't tell where I am or how he can lead me. But if I think about filling out the hand that's on my shoulder blade, and I pull back from my belly button, not so much as to lean into it, but just enough to put a slight pressure. It gives your leader so much more information about where you're at and what that leader can do next.
For the lead, I always explain, I'm just gonna say it again, keep that shoulder and then shoulder blade engaged, because when your follow is gonna be engaged as well, you're gonna feel that tension. You need that tension to do your typical cross body leads right here, boom. So you can know more or less where she's at. So keep it always engaged, because at the moment the follow starts engaging and you're not ready, then
She's gonna pull you.
she's gonna pull you, and then even you could even see even my shoulder like this. So
It has to be equal and opposite, otherwise it doesn't work. So both parties have to be doing the same amount of pressure, and that will vary from person to person. So you have to be able to also respond depending on who your leader follow is. You will have to change it slightly.
yes. Yeah. Alright, so we do the close ones.
Yeah, so we'll do a quick exercise here that is going to test those connection skills. So now that you've set up, for those of you who have a partner, this nice arm connection and back connection, the followers are now going to close their eyes, and the leaders are going to put you through a short segment of whatever they feel like.
To
just
make
basics.
it very easy, we're just gonna do a basic, a cross body lead, and then we bring back our follower up to the original position. So it's gonna go like this: 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7. Five, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7. Most of the common mistakes that you might feel is there's no engagement of the partner. The follow as a lead, the follow might feel very heavy. The follow might anticipate the moves and then just go. All right.
There are more than a few problems with that, but as a follower, it comes with the name. You have to wait. You're following the lead. It doesn't mean that you're less important. In fact, you're equally important to the equation. However, if you do not wait for the lead, then you have become the leader. And then what's the leader to do? It makes it a really weird situation. So,
also for the lead, also at the same time, when you're a lead, you have to take your job as a lead very seriously. Meaning, as she said, the follow have to let go. The lead is in charge, so you're in charge of somebody that is letting go. You're in charge to make sure this person is safe in the dance floor, and also the follow usually do a lot of spins. So your job as the lead is to lead the spins and also keep the timing. Make sure you're the one keeping that pace that the follow can follow, meaning the follow can dance without worry about anything like hitting somebody, falling on the floor, or even losing the time, because follows, if you're a follow, you know that you're doing a lot of stuff with your body, spinning, doing changes of your feet, and for the lead, you have to make sure everything is okay from one way to another.
the more trust you can build and the more interdependency you create in a way that both of you trust one another, the more creativity can come out of it.
Yes.
So,
So now we're gonna apply a little bit of that connection. So leads, get ready. Of course, your posture, remember what I was saying. Your hand on the shoulder blade, engage your arm, and then you're here.
followers, make sure that you've got a connection almost fully through that arm without any major gaps. Not too heavy though, and let your belly button pull you back into the leader's hand just slightly so he can feel where you're at.
Yes. All right. Leads, one of your main jobs, and this is very, I always say that a lot. Wherever you go, you have to go where you're going, because the follow is going to be doing so much stuff that sometimes the follow cannot see where exactly you are going. Okay. So, like I said, you got to take your role seriously. So, if I'm going to look close by the lead, whenever I go, I have to look first and see if it's safe, so where we can set the follow. If it's not safe, I can stop. That's when we can use the other hand. But let me just do a quick demonstration. What I'm doing when I'm doing my close by lead, I always look where I'm going. So I'm going 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. I look that way. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. I usually, when I have this hand with me, and if I see that If I see it's very crowded, so I prefer to have the hand right here. Why? Because this hand will stop if something happens. So imagine something's happened, a couple is dancing right here, so I have this hand to stop. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and go, whoa! 5, 6, 7, and let me straight this way. 5, 6, 7. So somebody is behind me. 5, 6, 7, 1, whoa! 5, 6, 7, 1, oh! That's where you're supposed to go. 1, 2, 3, 5. Whenever you go, even if you're gonna turn, you always look where you're going. 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Okay.
So equally important is the follow taking that lead, which means that that back connection we just worked on here in a closed position, this is easier to maintain because it's pretty static. Even though it opens in that crossbody, it does come back closed. We have to give that same kind of connection in the other hand. So if I am just engaged with the hand, there's a push sometimes, and there's gonna be a pull sometimes. But there always has to be some kind of information flowing through this hand as well. And it comes, as you can see, we're tilting slightly back and front, but it's coming from the center. We're not just flopping. It's coming from the middle of your weight. It's not taking you off your feet, but it's just enough push and pull to keep the information flowing between your hands. So that happens when it's two hands, when it's one hand, and then same thing happening here where it's a little more compact.
A ti la pálida.
No gaps.
Look where you go. Somebody's behind me. Whoa! Hey. My bounce. Don't be afraid to break the rules of the mambo. Okay.
Thank you
so
everyone.
much
to everyone who joined us today.
Yes.
We're sweaty. We
We're
hope
also
you are
sweaty,
too.
Yeah. Simple class, but you learn so much.
And you're moving.
Yes.
Thank you to Jorge for setting all of this up and giving us the opportunity to teach for you this year in your online edition.
Yes.
We are so very thankful and happy to be working with you once again. And it's been a hard year for dance.
It's been a hard day.
2020 has been a little difficult.
Especially
but
here in New York.
Yeah, here we are and we're getting through it and you will too. And here we are ready for 2021. We're going to be stronger. We're going to be better. Yeah. And we're going to have more ways of coping. That's
Everyone,
for sure.
stay healthy. Take care of yourself. Please don't stop dancing. I know it's difficult, but you can dance at home. I'm telling you, we live in New York, apartments. My neighbors hate me because I've been like going all this stuff and I've been dancing and everything. But you know what? I need to dance. I know we're not supposed to like be on this social and everything, but still we can still move our bodies. That's what we need.
It's good for the soul. We will see you next year in 2021 in person.
See you.
Signing off.